some straight lines. We had some curvy lines. We also talked about some fancy lines like a zigzag that looks like mountains or the letter M or shark's teeth because it has a point. Ouch, 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 ouch. And then if you did a curvy line, it's like a zigzag except for there's no points. It's all curves, smooth. And we said that's like a snake. We talked about a line that has, if you mix those up, it has a curve and a point. So this one is a bumpy line. And if you flip that upside down, it's a wavy line, like at the ocean. We also talked about a curlicue line. So forward, around, and back. Forward, around, and back. A dotted line, or a dash. Castle top. And I think I might have them all except for maybe spiral. So last week we learned about lines, and today we're going to learn about different shapes. So here's how a shape is made. A line has a start and a stop. And I'm going to do a couple different ones for you. So a line starts somewhere and it ends somewhere. So I could go straight across and make a straight line, but it starts and it stops. Or I could make a bumpy line. Bumpy, but it starts and it stops. If I want to make a shape, then my start and my stop have to connect. They have to touch. So for example, if I wanted to make the shape of a circle like this, I would be taking a curved line and I would keep going till it comes together, till it stops and it meets the start. Okay? If I wanted to make a cloud, I could go like this, bumpy. But my start has to meet my stop. Bumpy. There it goes. And now it's closed. And when you take a line and the start and the stop meets and it creates a shape, then you know exactly where you might want to color in because it's closed, and you know that you can fill in this right here, and you know exactly where you might want to add your color. Whereas this line right here, I don't know where the shape, what to fill in because it's so open. It has a start and a stop. So in art, there are different types of shapes. Some shapes are math shapes, and those are geometric. Art shapes like circles, ovals. They are shapes that have names. Can you think of any shapes that have names? Then some shapes are called organic shapes. Organic. That's kind of a fancy word. Maybe your parents might buy organic food. That means it's grown in a different way. But that's the only time I've really heard organic shapes. And organic shapes are like this cloud shape. It doesn't really have a name. I might say it's a cloud. Someone else might think it looks like a butterfly. If I was to draw an organic shape, I might use my curvy lines. And somebody might say, oh, it looks like a paint spill. But somebody else might say it looks like a dancing person. Like, here's his face. There's his hands. Here's his feet. I'll pull a shoelace so you can see the feet. So we might see different things in our organic shapes, kind of like looking at clouds. So today what we're going to do is we're going to mostly use our geometric shapes to make our pumpkins. And I'm going to show you really quick some of my space shapes that I've made for you. Let me turn this back this way so we have a white page. But these are some shapes that I have on a poster for you, and I've made space shapes. So here we have a circle. A circle goes round and round, no end to be found. We have a rectangle. A rectangle has 2 long sides and 2 short sides. You can actually try drawing these on your whiteboard right now. Let's practice drawing the first one, a circle. A circle goes round and round, no end to be found. It's like a curved line. A rectangle, we said, has 2 short sides and 2 very long sides. And remember, it's closed. Our lines have to close in order to create shapes. The next one is an oval. It's kind of like if you smush or if you step on a ball a little bit, it might become an oval, like that. Okay. Then our next popular shape is a triangle. A triangle has 3 sides, any 3 sides. So it might look like this triangle, like the letter A without the center, and then close the door at the bottom. It might look like an L, and then close the door. So let's see what your triangle looks like. Okay, the next shape that we're going to talk about is a square. A square is kind of like, I'll put it there so the stars are the right way, kind of like a rectangle, except for a square has 4 sides all the same. So 1, then I'm going to try to draw this one right down here about the same size, 2, 3, 4. So that is my square. The next geometric shape, because it has a name, is our diamond or our rhombus. So I'm going to make like a triangle top, and then I'm going to make a triangle top on the bottom like this, or a letter V. And that makes my rhombus. And then you have some other shapes that you can probably use in your pumpkin today, like a half of a circle. So I might draw a straight line and then close it with a curved line, just like that, to make my half circle, my semicircle. You might want to try to use a trapezoid. You might want to use a trapezoid shape, and that shape goes like this. It's kind of like a triangle that has the top cut off. So I'm going to go like this, a little line. So you try this on your whiteboard, and 2 diagonal lines out like this. Remember, diagonal lines are like sliding boards. And then I'm going to close the bottom. So that might be a nice shape that you want to put today, to use to draw today, to practice. You might want to use a heart shape today. Okay, and remember, if any of these shapes are hard for you, you can just practice drawing them on your whiteboard, and you can get better and better. I'm going to put my poster up with all the names of the shapes and all the shapes so you can see. But if you want to draw a heart, what I like to do to start learning how to draw hearts, if you don't know, is to do a letter V like that, and then to do 2 curved lines. 1, 2, over. Okay. This shape is a crescent moon shape, and that's just using a curved line like this, and then start either the top or bottom, it doesn't really matter, and you're going to do a copycat line. So I'm going to copy this line, and I'm going to do it again, another curved line. And that, if you turned it sideways like this, might make a good mouth for your pumpkins. Now you can remember that we also talked about organic shapes. Okay, organic shapes are shapes that don't have names. You might not use any of these organic shapes in your pumpkin, but you might. And those, remember, are just like little, usually kind of blobby shapes that we see maybe in nature, but they don't have names. I might say, if I drew an organic shape like this or something, I might say that it looks like a piece of broccoli. You might think that it looks like something else. So organic shapes don't have names like circles, squares, ovals. Okay, so I can't wait to see what you can do to draw your pumpkins, what shapes you use to draw your pumpkins. Why don't